Hi guys, I'm going to film a Q&A for you today. I asked a few times on Instagram what kind of things that you wanted to know about traveling in Australia and making the move and everything. So I've written down all your questions in my book. So organised. How cute is that? Can we just talk about how many patterns I've got going on here? And I'm not even going to show you how disgusting the carpet is. I think if you follow me on Instagram, you already would know how much I hate it. Okay, so first questions that you asked was, should I try traveling first? 100% try traveling first. I think we all are under this like assumption that, you know, everyone's gonna love traveling and you're gonna move halfway across the world and you're gonna have the best time of your life. And that is, if you've got that mindset that you just want to move and you're gonna have the best time, you probably won't, because the thing is, it's so hard to be so far away from home. So you definitely should 100% try it out. So I came to Australia for 1 month and just met two of my best friends out here, and we just travelled from Sydney to Cairns, and I realised how much I fell in love with Australia. And I definitely think that is the best thing you can do, because it's such a big country and you just don't know what you will like and what you won't like. And yeah, I definitely think that is the best idea, is to just try it out, see how you go home, see how you feel. Because for me, that was how I decided that I wanted to move. I knew when I got home I wasn't happy, and I think it was because I had done the month traveling that it kind of then set in stone that I was ready to try it out for a longer period of time. Yeah, so definitely try traveling first. The next question was, can you explain the process of moving? So like I said, for me, when I got home from that month away, everything had changed. It's funny, it's so cliche because everyone says, oh, you go traveling and your mindset changes, but honestly, it's the most true thing ever. Like, you go away and I think it's because you grow up in this really small bubble, and there's everyone around you, and you've got social media, so you've got Instagram, Facebook, everyone's on the same thing, everyone's going to the same nightclub, everyone's doing the same, everyone wants to go to the same festivals, and then you kind of take yourself away from that and you see that there's not just that small little bubble, and there's a lot more going on. So once you've done that, I think it's really hard to then go back to that small bubble and just carry on with life. So for me, I think that was what clicked. I think I just thought, no, I think I'm ready to go away. And even if it's I kind of said to myself, I said, look, even if I go back for a week or a month or a year, then I will feel more fulfilled. But at the same time, just because I wanted to do that doesn't mean that everyone should want to do that. I think that, like I said just then, there's this massive assumption that everyone should love traveling, and it's just not like that. Some people are so happy in their hometown, and that's fine too. So I think that I think that it takes a lot to actually decide that you're ready to move or move away. And I just think as well, you shouldn't put too much pressure on yourself. If you book a flight and you say, oh, I'm going and I'm going to go for 3 years, and then you come back the next week, so what? At least you've done it and you tried it. And yeah, I think that whatever you do is completely your thing, you know? Okay, next question was farm work. So some of you might have seen I worked in a crab factory for 5 months. So what that is you have to do 88 days of farm work to get a second-year work and holiday visa. So also a few questions that I've had is about the first-year working visa. So your first-year working visa, I think I just literally typed it in, Australia working holiday, and I can't quite remember because it was like, I think it was like, well, it would have been 2 years ago now. So I think I just came up, and I think it was the Gov site, the GOV, and I think it must have cost me about £250. Not too expensive at all. But yeah, so you just get your first working holiday visa, and then obviously that should come through. And then to get your second year working holiday visa, you do have to do 88 days of farm work. which is the weirdest thing ever, but it's so good. Honestly, I think it's one of the best experiences I've ever had in my life. I went from, it's funny because I've actually met one of my bestest friends there, and when I rocked up I had like shellac on my nails, I had fake eyelashes on, and I had my makeup done, and I turned up to this crab factory and they were like, yeah, she's not gonna last a week. And I did 5 months. So yeah, I was really lucky with my farm work though. I found it here on the Sunshine Coast in Mooloolaba, and I just worked in, it was called a crab factory. So my job, like when I logged in, my job was prawn peeling, and that is literally what I did for 5 months, and it was the best experience of my life. Like I said, I met my bestest friend there, and I met such a good bunch of people, and I think it just opened your eyes up to so much more than like just your normal life. But yeah, I definitely don't think I'd be doing it again. Like I said, I was really lucky because I got paid hourly, so I think I was on something like $22 an hour, which sounds a lot in UK pound, but I think that works out as about like £13. I don't know, I'd have to do that properly, but I think it's around that. And I think that's the like kind of average wage for Australians. So I was lucky and I got paid that, and obviously that meant then I could save to carry on traveling. Whereas some people, they'd go and work on like a strawberry farm or a banana farm or something, and you usually would have to travel and go more inland. Like, so my friend's doing it up in Innisfail at the moment, and she's on a banana farm. And so yeah, I was very, very lucky to get work here. And as well, it's like seasons, so what can happen is you can be on a farm and then it can all be going really well, and then the next day they're like, okay, we're done now, and then you have to move on. But what I didn't actually realize is you can do your farm work in different places. So you could do like 10 days at the banana farm, and then 40 days at a blueberry farm, and it doesn't have to be consecutive months. But I just smashed mine out and I actually stayed longer than 3 months. I did 5 months. I think I must have been crazy. So yeah, farm work was probably the hardest 5 months of my life, but also the best. It was, yeah, weird. So my next question was how I found somewhere to live. So I came to the Sunshine Coast originally to visit one of my friends who was living here, and then from there I went onto a site called Flatmates. What you do is you just type in where you want to live, and then you type in like your minimum rent, how much you want to spend, or your maximum, and then you can just kind of message whoever it is, and then you usually just move into like a house share or something. That's really fun. Or you could obviously always do hostels. I lived in the hostel for a little bit as well, and I think my rent was ridiculously expensive. I think it was like $180 a month, and we had no Wi-Fi, but it was just more the social of a hostel. So once I had lived with my friend for a month, I then got my own flat share with 2 Australian girls, and it was amazing. It was so nice to kind of get into the routine of life, because I'm someone, I just can't go without routine. I love traveling so much, but I really struggle if I don't always have routine. I think I'm someone who, I love traveling and being free for like 2 months, and then I'm like, okay, I need to get back into a routine of life and going to the gym and eating healthy and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, so I went from my friends for a month to a flat share, and I think I lived there 4 months, and then after that I moved into the hostel for 2 months because I needed to finish off my farm work. And then after that I moved into, again, like flat shares, and yeah, I had some really weird experiences. But again, it's so good because I actually used to just live at home, and I had never lived out at home. I had my dinner cooked for me, didn't pay rent, probably didn't really do food shopping, and it's been honestly the best experience of my life to come over and be completely independent and do all of those things. I didn't just move out, I moved halfway across the world, but yeah, it was amazing. Next question was my living costs. it's really hard because I didn't move out of home at home in the UK. It's really hard to compare them, but I think I did some research, and I think it's about £500, maybe £600 a month to live like in a flat in the UK, whereas I think here is probably a little bit more expensive, but you usually will do like a flat share or something. So I pay $150 a month, no sorry, $150 a week here. So I think as a flat we pay 1,200, so we all pay 150 a week. So things are done weekly here rather than monthly, which I love. So you get paid weekly, your rent goes out weekly, and all of that sort of stuff. So at home I think it's monthly, like, whereas here, yeah, it's a lot nicer because you get your weekly pay. And I find that way it's a lot easier to save as well, because you're not like, I know in the UK I used to be so bad for getting my pay and just being like, oh my gosh, I haven't had money for like the last 2 weeks, I'm gonna just go spend it all. Whereas because we're getting paid weekly here, you always feel like it's okay because you're gonna get paid. So yeah, living costs, but then obviously your grocery shop and things like that I think is probably a little bit more expensive. We usually spend around $100 a week, maybe a little bit more probably, like on things like toiletries and things like that. So I think overall your living costs are a little bit more expensive here, but I think it all weighs out. I think we get paid like, because obviously $22 an hour is a lot to get paid hourly. I think like minimum wage at home is like £7, is it? Whereas minimum wage here is like 21. So you get paid that extra third. So yeah, you do get paid more, but you definitely do spend more in like grocery shopping and rent and things like that. So next question was Sunshine Coast. So the Sunshine Coast is just a beautiful spot in between Brisbane and Noosa. I didn't actually come here when I did my month of travel though, so I ended up coming here because my friend was here, and I didn't hear about it before that, but I think it's getting a lot more known now. It's just a small town, it's not a city, but it's not super quiet either. So it's a small town, it's got everything that you need in it, but it's beautiful. It's just a real coastal town, and it's just so pretty, and we've got amazing beaches, and it's just a good spot to live. If I could recommend anywhere to live, if you're someone who was older and looking to move a family out, oh my gosh, the Sunshine Coast is perfect. If you're younger and you love like a night out, I probably wouldn't recommend the Sunshine Coast. I'd probably recommend something more like Sydney or Melbourne, where it's just going to be a little bit busier and a little bit more going on. But if you're someone like myself, like I love going out and I like drinking and things like that, but I also love, like I said, I love my routine and I love like my normality, I guess. So yeah, so for me, Sunshine Coast is amazing. For someone who is like really into partying, I would probably say go more to somewhere like Brisbane or Sydney. Did I come travelling on my own? So I did come travelling on my own, but like I said, I did meet my friend here, but then my plan was to keep going. So I think travelling, it's really hard with travelling because you are with that person. If you're going to come with someone, you are with them 24/7. So I think I was really lucky when I came travelling for that month. The people who I came travelling with, it was the easiest. We were all happy to kind of give a little bit, so there was never any point we kind of argued about where we wanted to go. We were all sort of on the same wavelength, so that is so important as well. I think that can make or break your trip. If you come with someone who you want to do completely different things, I would say try coming on your own. You meet so many people, like everywhere you go. As soon as you check into a hostel, you're in a room full of four or more people, so you're definitely going to meet people, and especially when you do things like farm work, everyone's doing the same thing as you, so you end up probably meeting more people you would when you are on your own than when you're with someone. But that being said, if you have someone who you've wanted to travel with for a while and you know you're going to get on, I think you should totally do that as well. But I just think traveling on your own is just the best way to see everything that you want to see, because obviously when you're with someone else you have to take in what they want to do and things like that. So yeah, personally for me, I was happy that I came on my own. Don't get me wrong, it was so fucking scary, but I was really happy that I did end up coming on my own. I met so many people just through, yeah, doing farm work and being in a hostel full of different people as well. Everyone's happy to be a friend. So I don't think that is something to be scared about. If you are someone who, like, if you have been wanting to travel but you haven't got anyone to go with, if I can give you my best advice, is just do it. Just do it. You will not regret it. So next question was, is it what I expected? That's hard. Like, I think I thought of Australia before I came as like a little, like, I don't know. Yeah, I thought it was really quiet. There wasn't much to it. There was no cities, and well, I knew that there was Sydney and Melbourne and Brisbane, but I didn't really know what to expect. Like, I'm a real impulse person. I think I kind of just like, oh yeah, Australia, that would be fun. Let's do it. I don't really look into things, and I don't really plan, to be honest. I find it hard when you plan, because I think that then you're so restricted to what you've planned and you always kind of want to just do that. So I'm not really a planner. I kind of am just someone who will just come and do it, I think. A bit impulse in that way. I wish I was a bit more of a planner, because I think things would work out a lot better for me. But I'm a big believer in things happen for a reason. So yeah, is it what I expected? I don't know what the answer is to that. Yeah, definitely, I think, but different. I think, like, I didn't really know what to expect. I mean, you come in, yeah, I was 18, coming halfway across the world. I just probably was shitting myself, to be honest. And but yeah, I think that it's definitely been the most amazing trip, and I think it's definitely been what I expected. But yeah, that's a hard one. I don't know. Yeah, it is what I expected, and it's been amazing anyway. So I think that maybe, I think my answer to that is don't have too much expectation. Like, don't build something up so much to the point where it lets you down. I think your best thing is to just kind of have an open mind and come, and like I said, if you don't like it, you don't like it, and that's okay. But if you love it, then you love it, and that's also okay. You know, I think that there's too much, I just think that there's too many things on social media and things like that, like putting expectations out there for young people. So just do you, I think, and just enjoy it for what it is, and don't expect too much. I think my answer is to that. Next question, why did I make this YouTube channel? So I think when I was coming out here, when I was looking and trying to find more out about traveling and coming, I couldn't find anything really like this, unless it was someone who was like bloody Bear Grylls or something, and they had the full kit, the hiking boots. I think I just wanted someone to be in the same boat as me, someone who just wanted to go traveling and have fun and do something different with their life and take a step out there to more. So that's why I wanted to start this channel, was because I really wanted to see as well that it's not all going and like doing fun things. I think, like, for example, this is, you know, in my last video, if you haven't watched my last video, go watch it, but in my last video it was raining. It's still raining. It's a week later and it's honestly still raining. Like, I'm looking outside now and it hasn't stopped. The biggest reason for me starting the channel was, one, because I did get so many questions all the time asking me what I did, how I did it, and if it's worth doing. And two was because I think that there's a bit of a big gap in YouTube for this. So I thought it would be cool to just show you my lifestyle and what I'm doing and why I'm doing it and how it is. I can see my battery thing flashing. This is literally the third time that I've tried to video this, so I'm going to make this really quick now. My last question was, I think that's it actually, guys. yeah, so I will leave it there, and I hope you've enjoyed this video today. I'm gonna keep trying to upload frequently, so if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and a like, and please comment below what more videos you'd like to see. Thank you, bye.